Where did Kisara run off to?
You don't think she took off after Kelzelik, do you?
No. Nagal entrusted her with his dream. She wouldn't do something reckless like that. Right now, I think she just needs time to think. What she does from here on out is up to her. She has to be the one to decide.
You all arrived here from Cislodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate.
How's this?
Afraid I can't.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Danins and Renins have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going. I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Legil?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Danan lives, but We were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Eldaman and Sia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renan lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Eldaman and Sia Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzalik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renan than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense, enough to drive him to revolt. even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Danans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion!
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
We finally made it. All we have to do is get rid of that thing, right?
This will be a delicious piece of cake.
You're finished!
Radiant, here! This one's mine! Mega!
You picked the wrong fight!
Stay calm.
If they run, you gotta jump for cover! Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Cross! We work well together.
Like a finely timed...
Here I come!
What are you doing?
Pull it together, Law.
Sorry, right. I'm calm.
Thunderblade!
You're mine!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Tornado drive!
Lightning hit down here! Thunderblade!
You're mine!
Resonate with the earth!
It's over!
Power of
Blew
water!
away!
Dancing in wind! Air thrust! Take care of...
Denied!
I couldn't make it in time.
I'll bring you back.
Is that a healing art?
It is.
Escape!
I can't ignore your pain.
I'll try to be more careful.
Resonate with the earth!
You're mine!
Thunderfield!
Is this it?
Another incantation. It's in your hands now.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation!
I owe you one.
Radiant, here!
Here I come!
I'll bring you back from
Lightning
death's
thrust!
abyss.
Take this!
Primed and ready.
Rising Falcon!
This one's mine.
Strike!
That's gonna smite. It's over. Air thrust.
You're mine!
Photon blast.
You're mine!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
This
Leave
one's
the
all
enemy's
mine.
arc to me.
Not today!
No place here.
Got it.
Denied!
Now's our chance. First aid. Take this. Too much to handle.
Eternal
Now you see what I can do.
Mega ray.
Elusive deity.
Turbo try harder!
Now's our chance.
Take this!
Heal.
Blow away! Ready flash! Blow away!
Lightning.
Ready flash!
Raging storm.
I'll thank you.
Here's enough to help.
Ready,
One last
flash.
one. First aid.
Blow away.
Huddle. My
you're
master on
mine.
your teeth.
No further.
Back
It's
into
over.
the fray. Searing
Take this.
flame.
Light.
Burn!
Reload.
Here I come! More of this and I'll burn out!
Astral energy. Dance of the wind. Back
You're
into
mine.
here.
You're finished!
I'll be safe.
Blow away.
Flame of fury.
Arc is being interrupted.
Lightning. Will this help? Banana, let's go.
Eternal devastation!
Lightning condemned. Our healing storm. Where are you going?
I'm grateful.
Far enough!
Does it hurt?
Shattering. Attack time.
Glacial spear.
Elusive
Here
deity.
goes.
Begin.
Photon blade blaster.
Armor won't save you.
Raging cascade.
Elusive deity.
Blow away! Ready!
Radiant pierce.
This one's all mine!
Here, let me help. First aid.
Death shall not be forgotten.
Eat dirt!
Now.
Totally! In an instant! Impact Cross! Take this! I'm not done!
Heal.
I'm in your debt, Dohalim.
And tonight's meal is on you.
You got it. Nick.
Thank you.
Ready! Flash! Blow away!
Elusive
out of this! You're finished!
Raging Cascade!
Raining slash!
I'll
Thank you!
Elusive
Dazzle! You'll pay for that!
I'll bring it.
There! Here I come!
Take this!
Eat this!
I can carve through armor! They're not playing around!
Get it! Stop!
Resonate with the earth! Where are you going?
You're finished!
Steering
Pull away! Raining
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Sighted! It's over! Radiant shield!
You're mine!
Dance in the wind! Hear me!
Raining flash!
Burning
Blow away!
You all tucked away!
Begin! Raining
Gemini
flash!
Alpha!
Elusive deity!
Steering
Take
flame!
this!
Thor flash!
Resonate with the earth!
In here! It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! By the power of water!
Here I come!
Into the fray! Those far enough! Dance in
Raining
the wind!
flash! Elusive
Air
deity!
thrust! Light astronauts!
It's over!
Anything in armor is all mine! Knock it into next week!
Thunder field!
Raining
Tornado
flash!
drive!
Ignite!
Dance in the wind! Water!
Get
Here
away!
we go!
I'm ready! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Always good to be back in familiar territory.
How's this?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey!
sense one of your friends, Hoodle?
Mahog Sar. That makes 4.
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Shockwave strike! I'm not done! Shockwave strike! You're finished! Blow away! Here I come!
Where are you going?
Can't get out of
I'm
this.
not done! It's over! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Thank goodness we won. Little help!
Here I come! It's over!
Heal!
Try harder! Take
Here's a
this!
healing art!
Damn it! Not today!
Ready and raring!
Here's a healing art! If I do!
You attack without mercy.
Because I can't afford to hesitate.
Not against a worthy opponent.
You're most comfortable at a range, aren't you?
Thanks, Kisara!
Negative game! I'm not done!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo! Hoo hoo hoo. Hoo! Maybe something's going on in the forest.
An opponent like this should be easy. Take the
Feel!
Here! Blow away! Here I come! This one's all mine! Not today!
Freeze Lancer!
Take this! You're finished! My turn! Any more of this and I'll burn
Where
out!
are you going? Air thrust!
I've used a bit too much healing.
There's something in the wall. I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Ren and eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Now where might those fish be? Ha! Time to try a different spot. We've got a lively one! I'll let you go this time. We've got a lively one! I didn't think I'd catch something this big!
Stars above! That's gotta be a new record!
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
You saw it too, right? I'm always amazed what he... healing arts can do.
Just...
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey, though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
I always love the sound of hammers banging away.
Yes!
Right.
No way.
I don't believe this! Great! Very nice. What?
I guess...
Law.
Yeah! Whoa! Is that... Oh, this is bad. Real bad.
Ah!
Just great.
Yes!
Man, that was amazing! No wonder the old man was so gung-ho about it.
See? What did I tell you?
Shion, you've got sauce on your face.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our heads.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, La?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
See you tomorrow. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard. This one will be difficult to predict.
It's over! Now, in a bind? I'll take you all on!
My special.
Eat dirt!
Negative pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly. Reload! This works.
Blew away!
Flame of fury!
Raining flash!
Burning
Resonate with
strike!
me.
Hear my call! Spread!
Sharpen cut! Here I come! Not a chance!
Magic hand!
Can you take it?
You're mine! Luna Rondo! You're mine!
I'm ready!
Here!
Resonate with the
I'm out of
earth.
ammo!
I'm not done! This one's all mine! Eat dirt!
Air drop sight!
Rising Falcon!
Begin! Does it hurt? Attempt it!
Shockwave Slash!
I'm ready!
Raining flash!
Clear left! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Trapped in darkness, pierced by light.
I call it the Rindo Special.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danon, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danons in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danons in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place. All right.
There's nowhere to run from my heart. When he slows down, that's our chance.
Leave the agile ones to me.
Take your place. No further!
Burning strike!
Look mine! Taste it! Try harder! My turn!
Water!
Take this! It's over!
Spread! Glacier
You're mine! The
Here's
path
the
is
eagle!
over! No further!
Freeze Lancer! Time to
Take
shine!
this! Raining slash!
Now you've gone and ticked me off!
Rising falcon!
Here's the
Take
eagle!
this! Prepare to escape!
Freeze Lancer!
Take this!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher! Meteor!
I'm not done! Blow away! Take this!
I'm ready!
Finish! Blow them away!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's done in history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course. That treasure. What a sweet-sounding ring it has. Visibility. Along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
This one's mine! It's over!
Tiger Blade!
Ready and ready!
With the Duel of the Arc! Here, check it out! If it's in the sky, it's
Got
mine!
flyers!
No way,
I've
no.
got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
I never miss!
Ignite!
Don't mind if I do!
I can carve through armor!
I'm not done!
Denied!
Take this!
I'm ready!
Take right here! All yours, Kisara!
We did it!
Magnificently done.
You're finished!
Take this!
Dragon Blade!
Tiger Blade! Reload! I'm out! Back into the fray!
Double Demon Fang! Shockwave
Ray!
Flash!
Let's go!
Double Demon Fang!
Tiger Blade!
No further!
Look sharp!
Here I come!
Healing
You're
circle!
finished! Destruction!
Take this! Tiger Blade!
You're helping me become a pattern.
It's for the good of all of us.
Make it rage! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Rage.
One
You're
more!
mine!
Tiger
You're
Blade!
finished!
Art expert coming through!
Dazzle!
Rotating
Here I come! You're mine!
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
If it's in the sky,
I'm ready.
it's mine! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
I never miss!
You're finished!
Look like mine! Mega Ray!
Here I
This
come!
one's mine!
Dragon
I'm not so good with airborne charges.
You're finished!
Flying freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said
Not
than
today!
done. Far enough!
Here I come!
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Chocolate
You're
flight!
feistier than you look.
You're
Can't
mine!
change the future without getting your hands dirty.
Dramatic, but fair.
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Make it rain! Nicely done, Xion.
You're slapped. Step it up.
Yeah.
In a bind?
Rising Falcon! Eat this!
I'll face you!
This one's mine.
Here I come!
Tiger blade.
Rotating pile driver!
Do it.
Destruction! Oh! Look sharp!
Lightning tiger blade!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. We're in for a long slog with this one.
It's showtime!
Going in.
Armor won't save you!
Tiger blade.
Rotating pile driver!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Feeling gale!
Here's a healing arc. Tiger blade. Leave the enemy's arcs to me.
No place here!
Make it rain.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix
Did it!
Yeah,
Here's a healing
nice
arc.
technique.
I owe you one
Ruin
for
gate!
that.
You're finished! Be still! You're mine! You're mine!
I'm ready. These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Next talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heartstrings. I'm expert. Coming through.
Here I come!
Take
This
this!
on guard. Not on my watch.
Can't get out of this!
Make it
You're
rain.
mine!
Xion,
Go for it.
prepare to crumble.
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
Armor won't save you!
Mega ray.
Benediction light!
Take this!
Round and red.
Destruction!
This one's mine.
I shall ensure you survive this.
Mega ray.
Take this!
Lightning.
Make it rain! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix
Did it!
Yeah, nice technique.
This one's all mine!
The enemy wields
Not
arms
today!
too.
You'll soon see about that.
I'm ready!
Frozen.
Hammer.
Lightning.
Leave the charge to me.
Raining slap!
Resonate with the
I'm
earth!
not done! Lightning thrust!
Make it rain.
Still!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
Only the best materials in your garments.
You really do have quite the discerning eye, Dohalim.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same to me.
I'll clear the way through.
I've got your back. Get behind me. Begin. Tiger blade.
Raining slap!
Ready. It's like trying to keep up with a wolf.
Piercing roar.
I'll smash
you!
Here I come!
Benediction light.
Do
Blow
it.
away!
I never miss.
Prepare to be seized,
zero.
fleet of foe. Actually, sound is more appropriate.
Let's talk more doing.
Raining meteor! Take this!
Piercing roar.
Destruction!
This one's mine.
Everlasting dark!
Tiger blade.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Ah, right.
Time to let it rip.
Annihilation! Watch us!
Look sharp. Blue escape.
Take this!
Be still.
Tiger Blade!
Soda.
Make it rain!
Take this. Shield.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
No.
There's still more to go!
Going in. Here I come.
Going in!
Soda.
This one's
Anything in armor is all mine. Take this.
Radiant, here! Confiscated!
This one's all mine. Ignite. Catapult. Blue escape.
No chance!
Raining slap.
All stopped up!
You're mine. You're finished.
This one's mine!
I'm not done. Dazzle.
Look sharp!
That's it! This one's mine! Tiger Blade!
Excellent technique.
How are your weapons holding up?
Best not to give me any ideas.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Couple of hearts to your heart.
All yours, Kisara.
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
We got some good equipment.
I can't say its appearance is to my... tastes, personally.
More Danon runes here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then?
Discourteous, aren't you?
You're finished.
Look sharp!
A new melody. Blew away.
Look sharp!
Raining slap. Destruction. You're finished.
Going in!
You're mine.
Tiger Blade!
Lightning thrust.
Behold! The Earth pulse! Tectonic vision! Resonate with the earth!
Damn it. Here I come.
No further!
You're finished.
Confiscated!
Tiger Blade!
I'm not done.
Now you see what I can do.
This one's mine! Glacier Spear!
Ignite.
This one's
These
mine!
little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
I've been doing really great lately.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
You wanna play? Then come at me!
Take this.
Glacial Spear! On guard!
You're mine. You're mine.
Going
Be
in!
still. You're mine.
Look sharp!
Soda.
Look sharp!
Let the marksman handle this!
Blue escape. Raining slap. Blew away. Raining slap.
Dohalim!
All yours, Kisara!
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Strike. Shockwave slap.
Going in!
You're mine.
Reload! That's it!
You're mine. It's over. Raining slap. Strike. Raining slap.
Our expert coming through!
You're mine. Eat this.
I don't have much left.
I can carve through armor.
You're finished.
And just like that, I'm back in it.
Start
I
by
think we
holding
can
the
get
front
done.
line.
No sooner said than done.
Still.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
That... Some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting. I have a bad feeling about this.
You want me? Come get it! Deny!
Here's evil! I'm ready!
Burn in hell.
This one's mine!
Piercing roar!
Strike.
Going in!
I'm ready. More. Blow them away.
Glacial Spear!
My turn.
Here's evil!
I'm not. You're finished.
Going in!
My
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
Rising Falcon! You're mine!
Thank you.
You're finished!
Art expert coming through!
Elusive deity.
Strike!
Confiscated! Hear me!
I'll
You're burning!
This one's all mine!
Hear my call!
Eat this!
Go blood!
You're mine!
Do it!
It's over!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes.
So, fire and earth astral energy, huh?
A perfect combination.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
I don't know about that.
No choice! Take this!
I can carve through armor!
Let them
Here I come!
going in!
One more!
Resonate with the earth.
Raining stars!
The tide of battle has turned in our favor.
Then let's keep pressing the attack!
Indeed, but remain ever vigilant.
Here I come!
Here's a healing
You're
art!
finished!
Elusive deity.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Raining stars! Flew away! Not today!
Do it!
Thank you.
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Barely a blip on our radar.
Let's
Here's
see
a
what
healing
you've got.
art!
Take this! You're finished!
This one's mine!
Shuffling strike!
Tiger Blade!
Shuffle this!
Radiant Steel! I'm gonna take this! Turn it on my watch!
I've used too much. Let loose.
Don't worry, I've got plenty to go around.
Tiger Blade! Spear Lancer!
Negative gate.
Armor
Resonate with
won't
the earth.
save you! Where are you going?
One more!
Make it rain!
All yours, Kisara.
We did it!
Magnificently done.
I'm not done!
This one's mine!
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
It's on! Not today!
Going in!
Elusive deity.
One more!
Begin.
Tiger Blade! Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
If it's in the sky, it's mine! This one's mine! Lightning Meteor!
In a bind.
You're mine!
Hear my far enough! Ready! Look sharp! Nice! Flaming Fury!
Take this.
Lightning Strike!
On guard!
Seismic rupture.
This one's mine!
Raining splash!
There!
You're mine!
How do you like being
couldn't
pounded
make it
into
in
shape?
time.
All healed!
Now you see what I can do.
On guard!
Tempest.
This one's mine!
Benediction light.
I don't have much left. Here's
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me!
Escape! Blow away! Raining
This
blast!
one's mine.
Blow away!
Now we're not
Tiger blade.
No further! You're mine!
Here goes!
I'll face you!
Burn in hell!
I've used a bit too much healing.
Gotta break through! Take this!
Not even three!
You're finished!
Let the mark go on! Where are you going?
You're mine!
Take it! Throw it on field!
Rain slash!
Go, Halim!
All yours, Kisara.
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Deny!
Too fast!
Stand down.
You're finished!
I'll trip it up.
Carve through one!
I'm ready!
Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Sighted!
To
One
everlasting.
more!
Take this!
Look sharp! Mega Ray!
Negative
One more!
Blow away!
Tiger Blade!
This one's all mine! Eat dirt!
Piercing roar! Here I go!
Take this!
I'm ready! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance!
Flame!
You're finished!
Take it away!
Lightning! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
I need to be stronger.
This looks nice and tough.
Get lost!
You're mine! You're finished!
Make grind and rest! Where are you going? Unguard!
Take this!
Take this!
Mega Ray!
Raining
Tiger
slash!
Blade! Gemini Aqua!
You're finished!
Mega Ray!
I'm ready!
Shield.
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
Not a
There's
chance!
still more to go!
Crush! Rising Falcon!
Elusive deity.
Take this! It's over!
Tiger Blade!
Resonate with the
Ignite!
earth.
Take this!
Annihilation!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Here's a healing
Shattering
Resonate
with the earth!
Pieces! Attack time!
Bang!
Now you see what I can do!
Unguard! Glacial Spear! Going in!
Destruction!
Resonate with
Grind
the
and
earth.
rest!
Here I come!
Forward up!
Strike! I still got a ways to go!
Through these.
Out of our way!
Take this! It's over!
Water! Hear my call! Tiger Blade! Blood! Glacial Spear! I think we can get through this.
Don't let up until it's over!
Who said anything about letting off?
Take this!
Look sharp! That's it!
You're mine! Chocolate slice! I'm ready! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady.
Something you wanted to say? These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
I feel sprightlier than before.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag-Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm... Been looking for you. For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why? Beautiful, precious life. What the... That is all I desire. Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Ready and ready!
No further!
Fool.
Piercing!
Benediction.
I never miss.
Piercing roar!
Don't mind if I do.
Take this! Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal.
Speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Far enough!
You're
Glacial
finished!
spear. Here's the evil.
This one's mine!
Freeze laser.
This one's mine!
Annihilation.
This one's mine! This one's mine! On guard!
Try harder! My turn!
Did you just hear me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
One more! Tiger blade! This one's mine!
Take this! Here!
This one's mine!
I'm not done!
One more! Tiger blade!
Mega ray. Ready.
Fall.
Heal! This one's mine!
Shattering the
Going in!
glacial spear.
Going in!
You're mine!
Look sharp!
Too much!
That's it!
Take
Will this help?
Look sharp!
In a bind?
Going in!
This one's mine.
Going in! Just like that, I'm back in!
Start by holding the front line.
You picked the wrong fight!
Been done!
Take this! You're mine!
Tiger blade!
It's over! Shockwave strike!
Take
Forgive me.
Denied!
This is my fault.
Here's the
Allow me
evil.
to help you.
On guard!
Take this.
Freeze laser.
Flaming meteor!
Begin.
Back and
Look
I'll
sharp!
bring you back from
One
death's
more!
abyss.
Take
Tiger
this.
blade!
Resuscitation.
Their arts are interrupted! This one's mine!
Confiscated. I can feel the medicine work.
That's it!
Glacial
Tiger
spear.
blade!
Here's the evil. Freeze laser.
Not a chance!
Resonate with the earth.
You're finished!
Stalagmite.
Shadow.
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time. Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine, really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renins have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renins, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renins here, there should still be some people around.
This debris. Do you think it could be the work of Renin astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renins can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renins like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renins!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.